Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is a 546 Brotherhood game, Rome Total War game that I've put onto YouTube. Just to say, before I introduce the teams, I wanted to show this battle because it's got a little bit of Anti-Spartan Tactics. Okay, I think some people on Rome Total War think that Spartans are a little bit overpowered, but what I would say is maybe it's a tactics and strategy that we use against the Spartans that kind of make a difference in a battle. And that's why I wanted to show this battle, because there is a little bit of anti-Spartan tactics in this, which I hope you'll find interesting. Okay, our first teammate is Brotherhood member First Prime. Now, First Prime has got the bog standard 31k Roman army of 14 infantry and 6 cavalry. And the reason that's the bog standard 31k Roman army is because it's so effective and so efficient. That's why so many people use that particular army build. Okay, our next teammate is Brotherhood member Conan, the co-founder of the Brotherhood. Now, Conan has got 16 infantry, 3 cavalry, and 1 old school armoured cavalry general. Okay, so he's gone heavy on the infantry there, 16 infantry. Quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry, and he's got 6 upgrades. That's gold shield, gold attack. Okay, so that's quite a good army there, as I say, heavy on the infantry there. And of course, he's got the old school armoured cavalry general. Remember what we've said before. We all used to bring this as our armoured cavalry general up to maybe about 11 or 12 years ago, when most of us switched to an infantry general. So as I say, it's heavy on the infantry there. It'll be interesting to see how well the army does during the course of the battle. Our next teammate is Brotherhood member Steve Longshanks. Now, he has also got 16 infantry. He's got 2 archers and 2 cavalry. So Steve has also gone heavy on the infantry here. Okay, and there's a reason for that, and you'll see it when you see the other team. And our last teammate is myself, Spartan Commander, who's got his very old Roman army of 12 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, 12 infantry, 6 cavalry. So there's our team. As you can see, we're all Julii, all red Julii, so you'll be easy to know which team is which. Okay, at this stage, I thought we'd have a look at Steve Longshanks' battle formation here. Now, if you notice, no pilot shield units in front of his battle formation, and that's because this formation is custom built to fight a pike or spear army. As I say, look, no pilot shield units in front of it. So that's why he's got 16 infantry there in that particular formation. As I say, this is custom built to fight a pike or spear army that's going to be in front of him. And I think it'll be interesting to see how well this old school formation does against a pike or spear army that's going to be directly in front of him. It should be a great battle for you to watch, and I hope you enjoy it. And here is the other team. We have Brotherhood member Barclayman, who has got his faction of choice, Carthage. Now, Barclayman's got 12 Sacred Band Spearmen, 5 Sacred Band Cavalry, and 2 Town Militia. And in that dark part of the map is long grass, and that's where the rest of his army are hiding at the moment. Okay, so any dark area on the map is long grass where you can hide troops. Now, you might not see this unit very often, the Town Militia, and this is not a good unit. It's like maybe one up from the peasants, but as long as it holds its ground, it'll soak up enemy pilers as good as any other expensive unit. So my guess is that will be in his forward pilot shield unit there. As I say, the rest of his army is hiding in the long grass there. Just to say, Barclayman is a faction of choice is Carthage. He's been playing with Carthage for maybe over a year or so, and I would say that he's probably one of the best players on Rome Total War with Carthage now. Our next teammate is Brotherhood member Clash. Now, Clash has got 12 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, 12 infantry and 6 cavalry. Interesting army build here, because you'll see his 2 pilot shield units are 2 eagle units. Okay, the early legionary cohorts. Okay, so he's got 2 eagle units as his pilot shield units there. Now, if you notice, no upgrades on those eagle units. Okay, so he's decided not to waste any money on the pilot shield units there, and that's so that he can put more, I would think, upgrades on his cavalry. Usually brings serious cavalry, and actually he's got 8 upgrades on each of his cavalry units. So he's got 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack on his cavalry. As I say, Clash likes to bring very serious cavalry there, and it'd be interesting to see how well that army does during the course of the battle. Their next teammate is Brotherhood member Aurelius, who has bought the Greek cities faction, and he has got 12 Spartans, 2 armoured hoplites, 4 archers, and a fast-moving armoured cavalry general. Okay, interesting formation there. It'll be interesting to see how well it does during the course of the battle. And let's say, very unusual to see a Greek cities cavalry general there. So, interesting army build he's got there. And as I say, this battle, I wanted to show you some anti-Spartan tactics, and I hope you enjoy watching them. Their last teammate is brother member Demon. Now, Demon has got 11 infantry, 3 archers, and 6 cavalry. But Demon has got mixed upgrades with his infantry. You'll see that, can you see his first units of his battle formation have got 1 upgrade. Okay, so the pilot shield units at the very front of his battle formation, 1 upgrade. I'm guessing probably bronze defense. Okay, but then as you move further back into his battle formation, you can see, as I say, mixed upgrades. One of his units has got 6 gold shield, gold attack, but most of his infantry units have got 7 upgrades. Okay, and experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack. And remember what we've talked about in other battle videos, that experience stripe really does make a difference, especially towards the end of the battle when your troops are tired. That experience stripe keeps your troops fighting longer even when they're tired. Let's have a quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he's got 7 upgrades on his cavalry, and experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack. So I think that's a pretty good Roman army there. It'll be interesting to see how well that does during the course of the battle. So you see the enemy team have got Carthage there with Barclayman. They've got Rome there with Clash. They've got the Greek cities there with Aurelius, and they've got Rome with Demon. But this will be an easy battle for you to see who is who, because as you can see, all our team are red Julii. So when the battle really kicks off and the hand-to-hand fighting starts, you'll be able to tell which team is which. Okay, at this stage of the battle, as I say, we'd have a look at Steve's battle formation here. Now, remember we looked at this earlier, and as I say, this is custom built to fight a spear or pike army. No pilot shield unit, because he doesn't need one. So look how he's used his infantry there in this battle formation. Now, he's moved his army over to this right flank so he can face the Carthage army there. If you notice here, can you see Conan, as I say, he's also got 16 infantry, and he's going to be facing Clash. But as I say, they've gone heavy on the infantry there. I say my army here is facing the Greek cities, and First Prime is facing Scipio there. Okay, so as I say, it'll be interesting to see what tactics we use against the Spartans here. As we said before, interesting formation there with his 2 armoured hoplites as kind of pilot shield units. It should be a great battle for you to watch, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle here, you can see First Prime, I think he's looking to do a left flanking action here. Now, we know First Prime is one of the most aggressive attacking players within the Brotherhood, and as I say, it wouldn't surprise me if he started to do a left flanking action here. Okay, you can see Conan using the old school armoured cavalry general. Now, you might be wondering what he's doing there. What he's doing is trying to attract enemy archer fire. Now, this unit is so well armoured and moves so fast that he will suffer absolutely minimal casualties here, and those enemy archers, those expensive enemy archers, will be wasting their expensive arrows on that fast moving armoured cavalry general. See how he just keeps there, just moving around there, as I say, just trying to attract expensive archer fire onto him there. Okay, let's see, he's lost one man of his cavalry unit there, but you can see there's a heck of a lot of enemy arrows coming in on him. So as I say, that's what he's doing, and now he's going to, looks like me, he's going to charge into one of the enemy units there, and bang, and he smashes in there. Let's say with these old school armoured cavalry general there, very disruptive, harassing and haranguing. Let's just pause the game for a second. Now look at that, he's reduced that unit to 46. Okay, so from 81 man unit to a 46er, that's what that cavalry unit's just done there. So I think that's just goes to show you how effective this cavalry unit can be if used correctly. As I say, this is very old school. Up to about 11 to 12 years ago, you'd have seen this armoured cavalry general being used loads by most Roman armies, before we switched to an infantry general there. So as I say, this is genuinely old school. This is like watching a battle from maybe 12, 13 years ago, seeing how well that armoured cavalry general is being used there. As I say, you can see the casualties he caused to that one enemy unit there from smashing into it. As I say, First Prime here being very aggressive, looking, as I say, to do a left flanking action here on the enemy Scipii troops. Okay, so as I say, First Prime is one of the most attacking players in the Brotherhood here, and as you can see, he's showing that right from the beginning of the battle. As I say, we've only just really started the battle here, and straight away you can see what he's looking to do here. Now ideally, let's just pause the game for a second here. So as I say, you can see the Greek cities there, and I'm facing the Greek city. So as I say, we're going to talk a little bit about some anti-Spartan tactics here as the battle unfolds. Now what he would like me to do here is attack his Spartans head on with my Roman army. That would be an absolute ideal scenario for him, but of course I'm not going to do that. But that's what he would really like me to do. But what would be ideal is for myself and First Prime to take out the enemy Scipii army there without getting too involved with the Spartans there. Okay, over here on the right flank, as I say, you can see that Barclayman's put out Pilot Shield units of that Town Militia and one Sacred Band unit there. He's hoping to soak up Steve's pilers there in those units, but it'll be interesting to see whether Steve is going to kind of waste his pilers on those Pilot Shield units, or if he's going to make a different tactical move there. Okay, but as I say, back over here on the left flank, what First Prime and myself would like to do, as I say, is take out the enemy Scipii general here, but not get too involved with the Spartans. As I say, there's a bit of pilot exchanging going on here between First Prime's Julii army and Demon's Scipii army there. As I say, look at First Prime here moving in very close now, really looking aggressive here with that Julii army of his. Be interesting to see how the enemy deal with that. As I say, over here on our right flank, as I say, Steve didn't want to waste his pilers on those cheap Pilot Shield units, so what he's done is moved forward here to try and take those Town Militia and that one Sacred Band unit out, and then he can concentrate his pilers onto the elite units there. That's what he really wants to do. He'd like to take out, as I say, those Pilot Shield units, then move his army forward and then use his pilers on those elite Carthage units that are in close order there. That's what he would like to do. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see if that's what he's going to say. He's not going to waste his pilers on those cheap units. He'll take them out through fighting through them and then throw his pilers into the more elite units at the back of those Pilot Shield units there. Meanwhile, over here on the left flank, as I say, you can see First Prime moving infantry around there, but there's a lot of enemy cavalry there. There's 10 cavalry there at least, ready to counter-attack if he does decide to press home his attack there. He's taking a lot of archer fire there from those Cretan archers. You see he's advancing a unit forward there, attacking one of those enemy Scipii units there. Okay, now meanwhile over here on the right flank, as I say, Steve's tactic there has routed those two Town Militia, those two cheap Town Militia units have been routed. He will now look to try and take out that Sacred Band unit there. Okay, you can just throw pilers into that back of that unit there, and it wouldn't surprise me if that Sacred Band unit broke. They're very tough units of Sacred Band, as we know there, but he's not going to stand too long against that type of attack. If that general unit smashes into the back, there you go. Okay, so that's all of Barclayman's Pilot Shield units have been taken out, and I don't think Steve's thrown a piler yet. And he is now going to move his battle formation forward, and you will then see him really starting to decimate those elite Carthage Sacred Band units with pilers before they even get into hand-to-hand fighting. Now this is a great tactic here. Newer players from Rome taught the war. As you saw, he took out the cheap enemy Pilot Shield units, so he is now able to throw his pilers into the elite Sacred Band units there. Now you watch the volume of pilers. Remember, he's got 16 infantry. Look at those pilers there. Make no mistake, they will be devastating to those Carthage units in front of them. Look at it, it's almost like raining pilers. This is a great tactic for newer players to Rome Total War. This is how you attack pike or spear units there. Now look how he's decimated those two units in front of his army there. Okay, let's just pause the game for a second. Look at the numbers. Okay, remember these are 81 man units. That's been reduced to 27 already. And look at this one. One guy left in this 81 man unit before they even got into hand-to-hand fighting. Just that one guy left, and all the rest of them dead. Look at those pilers heading in on him as well, so he's not going to last too long. He'll be out, and then that whole unit, 81 man unit, has been taken out without any hand-to-hand fighting. That was been reduced to 51 as well. So as I say, this is a big advantage that Rome's got, and if you use it correctly, you can do devastating damage to enemies before you even get into hand-to-hand fighting. Okay, now over here on our left flank and left centre, as I say, you can see First Prime and myself fighting Scipii and the Greek cities. Okay, now my guess is here that the Greek cities general might want to be aggressive here and start moving towards my Roman army. But as I say, you can see First Prime here being very, very aggressive here on the left flank with his Julii army against the enemy Scipii army there. Okay. Now if you notice, I'm moving forward a little bit here. I'd like to try and take out that armoured hoplite unit in front of me. so that when I do throw pilers, it's going to hit those Spartans. As I say, I don't want to waste my pilers on those piler shield units. I'd like to hit the Spartans. Right here you can see Barclayman has moved a couple of units in on the right flank here onto Steve's infantry. But as I say, just look at the Julii infantry, the amount of Julii infantry there against the Carthage Sacred Band. As I say, there's like two distinct battles going on here. One here on the left flank and left centre, and one on the right flank and right centre. Right, let's just pause the game. Right, can you see now Aurelius is moving his Spartans towards my Roman army. Now what he wants me to do is either stand my ground, take his attack, or for me to attack him. Okay, that's the two things that he would really want me to do. But of course, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to fight those Spartans head on, because that's what he wants. So as I say, never do what the enemy wants unless you've got a plan. And at the moment I've got no plan, so I'm just going to back off. There you go. See, he'd love me just to stand there with my Roman army so he could just punch a hole straight through my army with those elite Spartans, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to move back. And let's see what he's going to do. Now he can either try and chase me if he wants to, or he might go back towards his Scipioid ally who's under a lot of pressure. Just have to see what he's decided he's going to do. But as I say, you can see here I've moved my Romans back there. I don't want to take the Spartans head on. So as we thought there, he's now moving his Spartans over to his Scipioid ally there. Okay, now as I say here, what First Prime and myself would like to do is take out this enemy Scipioid army, but with not getting too involved with the Spartans, if you see what I mean. So kind of fighting round the Spartans to take out the Scipioid army is what we would ideally like to do. But whether we'll be able to do that or not, we just have to wait and see. Okay, and meanwhile over here on the right flank, as I say, there's two distinct battles going on here. One over here on the right and one over there on the left. You can see that Barclayman's got his cavalry there ready to charge in, but you can see that the Julii infantry advantage there, plus the decimation that they did to those Carthage Sacred Band units with pilers. So, as I say, you can see just by the numbers here how well our team's doing on that right flank. As I say here, First Prime advancing in with his Julii units against the enemy Scipio troops, but unfortunately for us, you can see the Spartans have now moved over towards First Prime's army. So what I'm going to have to do is maybe, as I say, we don't want to fight those Spartans head on, so what I'm going to have to do is try and use distraction tactics. Now what I mean by that is maybe getting units in behind those Greek cities, making the Greek cities general have to turn units to face my units there, rather than them using his whole force against First Prime's infantry there. Okay, so once again, when you're fighting, especially Spartans, tactics and strategy is very important there. As I say, I'd like to get units in behind those Spartans there, just to kind of either make them turn units to face me to take pressure off of First Prime, or if they want to carry on fighting head on, I could then charge in behind them. As you can see, First Prime here charging his cavalry in, but there's a lot of enemy cavalry there ready to counter attack him there on this particular part. He's moving infantry and cavalry in, and get ready for this. Bang! As he smashes in there. But you can see a clash is attacking with his 4 cavalry units, and you can see a demon Scipioid cavalry coming in, and they're going to smash in there, or he's going to move him. He might not hit head on, he might come around the flank. There you go. You see, he decided not to smash straight through there, but he's going to move around there and try and hit First Prime's Julii units in the flank there. So that's a nice move there. Now poor old First Prime's got infantry and cavalry against all that enemy cavalry charging in on him, plus enemy infantry as well. Now, whether First Prime's going to hold or not there, we'll just have to wait and see. Right, let's just pause the game for a second. So as I say, you got First Prime's got infantry and his cavalry there fighting all that enemy cavalry plus enemy infantry as well. So it'll be interesting to see if he's going to hold there. Okay, now as I say, I've got units in and around. I'm going to take units around there, maybe to hit the flank of Greek cities. I've got units in behind them there. I've got my piler shield units there, holding and pinning some of their Spartan units there as I get units around behind them. Remember, tactical, strategic movement here when you fight the Spartans. Ideally, you want to take out the Spartans' allies first, and then concentrate all your troops on the Spartans. Okay. Meanwhile, here over on our right centre, you can see Conan facing Clash is SBQR army. But over here on our right flank, I think Steve's doing a good job against Carthage. But actually, as I say, Barclayman, one of the best players with Carthage on Rome Total War, is doing really well at trying to counter all those Julii troops. But as I say, there's 2 distinct battles going on here, as you can see, which makes this battle even more unusual, I think. So as I say, I'm throwing pilers into the rear of some Spartan units there. But as you can see, the Spartan general has turned units to face the threat of my units in behind him. Here you can see, as I say, This is a fierce cavalry and infantry battle going on there. You can see that both generals there have alt-attacked because they're fighting with their heavy swords instead of their light lances. That's the cavalry, of course. So as I say, I'm taking my cavalry over to the other flank there, but you can see I've got infantry units in behind those enemy Scipii troops. Right, let's just pause the game for a second here. So as you can see, I've got some Spartan units there facing those units I got in behind. And I've got other infantry units here trying to pin and hold some of the Spartans there. Okay, I've still got this lot of infantry here that I haven't committed yet. I'm taking my cavalry over to the other flank to help First Prime. Remember, team battles are just that. We help each other out. That's the way you win team battles, looking after each other. And as I said, you can see I've got my infantry, 3 infantry units in behind the enemy Scipii there, and I'm charging my cavalry in there. Get ready for this, and bang! As I smash in those enemy troops. Good news for us. It looks like we've just killed the Scipii general there. So that's really good news for us. As I say, I've got my infantry there. They're going to get smashed by that Scipii cavalry unit there. And those 2 units, bang! As I smash into my infantry that I've got in behind the enemy infantry there. But I say, with my cavalry smashing on through there and First Prime's cavalry and infantry involved there, we've managed to rout a heck of a lot of the enemy Scipii team there. As I say, those infantry units I got in behind, I'm charging into the rear of those Scipii units. Let's just pause the game for a second here. So as I say, we're really pushing in on the enemy Scipii. Remember what we were talking about there? First Prime and myself would like to take out the enemy Scipii army, but not getting too involved with the Spartans, if you see what I mean there. And that's what we've done. By the looks of it, we've taken out a heck of a lot of Scipii troops. I'm still moving my Roman troops away from those Greek city Spartans. See, the Spartan generals still want to take on my Roman troops head on, but I won't give them that satisfaction. I'm going to move my Roman troops away from the Greek cities. I'm not going to fight them head on. And meanwhile, over here on our right flank, I say Steve's doing really well there with his 16 units of infantry and his cavalry there up against Barclayman's Sacred Band. Obviously, if we can hold and pin those Spartan units on the other flank, that may well give our allies the chance on this right flank and right centre to try and take out as many of the enemy troops as possible before the Spartans maybe decide to come over. Okay, so there's a general overview there. But as I say, 2 distinct battles going on here. One on the left flank and one on the right flank there. Right, you can see those Greek city units, those Spartan units now coming in to attack our Julii armies, both cavalry and infantry there. Okay, you can see them moving in there. But we've done what we've wanted to here. First Prime and myself have taken out most of the enemy Scipii team there. You can see most of the enemy Scipii troops have now been routed there by First Prime and myself. Okay, we've suffered a bit of damage there from the Spartans and of course from the Scipii troops, but we've done what we wanted to there. And now maybe we just want to avoid fighting the Greek cities and getting all our Julii troops over to the other flank to help our allies fight over there. Okay, as I say, if we can take out all the other enemy troops there and then concentrate our troops on the Spartans. Okay, so this is what we're trying to do. Is those of you that might know Roman history, you know the Fabian tactic where the Romans refused to fight Hannibal in Italy, but they just like kind of shadowed him. That's what we're trying to do here, just kind of shadow in the Greek cities, the Spartans, if we can, while we move round attacking his allies. Okay, so you could say it's a kind of the Fabian tactic, if you like, against the Spartans there. As I say, I'm going to move my infantry and cavalry away from those Spartans there and look to get over to the other side. Okay, we've routed the Greek city's general, which is good news for us. And we've actually killed, as I say, the Scipii general as well. So we've taken out 2 morale bonuses there from the enemy team, which we're very pleased about. But now we need to get away from those Spartans. We don't want to fight those Spartans head on now. Let's get away from those Spartans, get over to our allies on the other flank, try and take out the enemy on the other flank, and then we can concentrate all our infantry on those Spartan units. Okay, so as I say, I've moved most of my infantry units away from the Spartans now. Just don't want to fight them head on. And meanwhile, over on our right flank and right centre, you can see Steve and Conan working really hand in hand together here, taking out Barclayman's Carthage units there. Okay, don't forget, Barclayman's Carthage units suffered massive casualties from Pylas before they even got into hand-to-hand fighting, and the Carthage general's been taken out there. Now you can see him charged into the back. Those Sacred Band units are probably going to rout now on impact. There you go. So that's basically all of the Carthage army has now been taken out with a combination of Steve and Conan working together there. So now they're going to concentrate on the enemy SBQR troops. Now, as I say, I've moved my infantry away there. The Spartans tried to move towards my infantry, but I ran them back. I don't want to fight them head on. And now both of us here, I think all of First Prime and myself, what we've got left, our armies will be moving over to the other flank. And as you can see, the Spartan general now can see the danger on the other flank and is moving his Spartans over. Now, I'd like to do a lot of damage with my cavalry before the Spartans got over there, try and help my allies to take out as many of the enemy troops as I can. But as I say here, remember, we on our team are all red Julii and everything else are enemy troops. Okay, let's just pause the game for a second here. Okay, so what Conan and Steve would like to do is take out all the SBQR, enemy SBQR troops there before the Spartans come across, because then we can concentrate all our armies, all our infantry, all our cavalry on these Spartans. Okay, so as I say, we practice the Fabian tactics, as I say, of not engaging the Greek cities but fighting around them until towards the end of the battle there. And as I say, if we can take out the Spartans allies completely, then we can concentrate all our armies on the Spartans. Okay, you can see I'm charging my cavalry in there, trying to take out as many enemy units as I can with my cavalry. As I say, we'd like to take out as many of the enemy SBQR troops as we can before the Spartans get engaged. Here I can see Conan here engaging the enemy SBQR infantry there. You can see the SBQR generals in there as well. But just look at the numbers game there of all the Julii troops that we've got on this particular flank. Bang! See that cavalry charge into the back of that Scipio general there. I say my cavalry is extremely battle damaged there, but I'm still going to charge in, still trying to take out enemy units as I can. And as I say, you can see that the enemy Greek cities, Spartans, have now reached us. But if you notice, they're no longer in a formation. They're kind of a bit split up now. Each, like you can see, like individual Spartan units trying to fight on their own. Small groups, Spartan units, maybe 2 or 3 are trying to fight together there. But a lot of the Spartan units are kind of split up a bit. And here you can see I'm going to charge my cavalry. I want to go for that SBQR general as my cavalry smashes through my allies there into it, and bang, as we smash through there. And yes, we've managed to rout the SBQR general, so that's good news for us. Now this frees up all those troops there, cavalry and infantry there, to move back to help to take out those enemy Spartan troops. Okay, so we've taken out the last of the Spartans' allies there. So now all our infantry, all our cavalry can now concentrate on the Spartans. Okay, so that was our tactic right from the beginning there. Take out the Spartan allies without engaging the Spartans heavily. As I say, the Fabian tactic there of just moving around them, not actually engaging them, just attacking their allies. And this is what we've done. Now, as I say, you can see there that we can attack when the Spartans come out of formation there. They can be attacked from the flanks there. Those of you that watch our battle videos regularly will know when I attack with Spartans, I keep my Spartans in a tight group, keeping the majority of my Spartans moving forward, but then using Spartan units on the flank of that formation to neutralize enemy attack coming in from the flank or the rear. Okay, but here you can see the Spartans are really split up, so they can be attacked from the rear, the flank, the weak spots of the units there. Okay, so let's pause the game for a second here. So as I say, look, you can see when Spartan units are split up, they kind of lose the strength of the group, if you know what I mean, of the formation. When they split up, they can be attacked from the flank, the rear, the weak spots by lots of different units here, see, going into the rear or the flank. But as I say, when I attack with my Spartans in that formation that I keep them in, as I say, I keep them in a tight group, advancing forward all the time into the enemy with the majority of my Spartan units, but keeping Spartan units on the flank to deflect enemy attacks coming in on the flank or the rear. Okay, so as I say here, this is a tactic that we used here right from the beginning of the battle to take out the Spartans' allies, armies, which we've done, and now we can concentrate all our forces here just on these kind of separated Spartan units, if you see what I mean. So as I say, you can see hitting into the rear there, routed that Spartan unit on impact, being smashed into the rear. You can see other Spartan units starting to rout here as well, where it's a numbers game there. Just look at our Julii troops, look how many we've got there. And as I say, the Spartans' morale will be low because they'll be seeing their allies, you know, other units there routing, and they'll be aware that they are being surrounded by enemy troops. They're going to smash into the rear of them there. Look. As you can see, most of the Spartan units are now starting to rout. So as I say, that was our tactic, that was our team battle tactic right from the beginning. Take out the Spartan allies and then move all our troops in to try and take out the Greek city units there. And as I say, once they come out of formation and they split up, they could be surrounded, and as I say, their weak points, the side and the rear, can be attacked quite easily there. As I say, you can see most of the Spartan units here are now starting to rout. I think there's one Spartan unit left. It wouldn't surprise me if that unit routed pretty quickly now. There you go. And that's the last of the actual Spartan units gone there. So as I say, that was our battle tactic right from the beginning. Take out the Spartans allies first, and then try and take out the Spartans with all the troops you got left. Okay, this is, as I say, two distinct battles over here on the left flank and left centre. As you saw, First Prime and myself were fighting Aurelius's Greek cities and the demon Scipii there. But as I say, trying to take out the Scipii army there without getting too involved with the Spartans was First Prime's and my tactic there. Okay, and then as I say, look, no kills, and there's no one deadlocked between the two battles. And then over on the right flank and right centre there, remember, this is where Steve took out the Carthage army there. Vast majority of the Carthage forward units were taken out by pilers there. Okay, sometimes you can see a row of men that you can tell have been killed by pilers if you look. As I say, it was a fierce battle over here on the right flank and right centre there. And there you go. Can you see that line of Carthage dead there? Can you see how a lot of them have fallen backwards there? They've just been killed by pilers. You can tell them. See how they're in a line there? They just died in a line there as they were hit by the pilers. And as I say, Steve did a lot of damage to those Carthage Sacred Band before they even get involved. Remember that both Conan and Steve on that right flank and right centre had 16 infantry each. Okay, so they had a heck of a lot of fire power between them there to take out a lot of enemy troops before they even got into hand-to-hand fighting there. So I think there's one enemy unit left. I think that's an archer. There you go. He's just admitted defeat there. So let's say it looks like our team has managed to go on and win the battle there. Okay, the first thing I'd like to say is really well played to everybody in the game. Now, a lot of you that watch our battle videos regularly will know I really only like showing close battles at a push average battles, because I like to keep you guessing who's going to win. But I wanted to show this battle because of the anti-spear tactics that we use in this battle. I thought you might find that interesting. As I say, I don't like showing clear victories because, don't keep you on your seat. You can see who's going to win there. But I just thought, it was interesting to see the different tactics that you can use against spear and pike units. As I say, a lot of people do think Spartans are overpowered. Best kills in the game goes to Steve Longshanks there, 1,418, so well done to him. I'd like to say really well played to Barkley Manor. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but he was decimated by so many pilers at the beginning of the game there before he could even get into hand-to-hand fighting. So that's probably some of the worst kills I've seen him get there, but as I say, he was killed by pilers there. Well done to Clash. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but he did well. Well done to Aurelius, highest kills in his team. And well done to Demon. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but he was double teamed over on that flank. So well done, guys. Great fight there. Well played. As you see, my army there, the smallest army on the battlefield, but I managed to scrape in the second highest kills there. So I'm quite pleased with that old Roman army. Didn't do too badly there. Well done to Steve Longshanks there. Got some good kills there. Well done to Conan, got some really good kills too, and look how much of his army is left. Still got 900 men left in his army, so he did well. And well done to First Prime there, very aggressive, very attacking on that left flank. So I say, I hope you enjoyed this battle, and as I say, I hope you enjoyed the anti-spear and pike tactics that we showed you that might come in useful for when you play the game. Okay, this is Spartan Commander saying, hope you enjoyed the battle. Please leave a thumbs up if you did. Look forward to seeing you soon, and bye for now.